What's up, everybody?
Going on.
What's happening?
What's going on?
Oh, same thing I do every Wednesday. Drink beers and smoke butts. What's up, Mark? You're in Orlando?
Up in Orlando for the PWMCA convention, and today was set up for the trade show, and I think trade show begins tomorrow, and ends, I believe, Friday sometime afternoon. So it's pretty cool. Another trade show. Kind of getting over them, but at the same time, I'm meeting good people. I got to see John Sacco. He's always good entertainment. And Steve-O, hung out with Steve-O, had some lunch. He's a good dude. And yeah, it's just getting rolling, so there's not a lot. They're probably still there now setting things up. These pressure washers show up in full force with pallets full of equipment, pallets full of chemicals. I'm like, man, I'm complaining about dragging a couple poles and a DI tank into this place, So, yeah, pretty cool.
Nice, man.
I did park in a loading zone, and I was waiting for Steve-O because he's staying in the same hotel that the convention's at, and I'm like right up the road, maybe a mile away. And I kind of like that. That was the first time I did the convention a couple of years ago. It's not to get away from the window cleaners. I'm not going to sit at the poolside bar and drink with them, but it's nice to drive a few blocks away and get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because you spend all day there. So I'm parked in this loading zone area, and there's all kind of trucks coming and going. And I go to Steve, we can unload from here and just bring it in. But I was parked in a place you clearly shouldn't park. So Steve was in there trying to find out where we bring everything, and some security from the hotel comes up and he goes, you can't park here. I go, why not? And I go, we're unloading. And he goes, you can't park here. And I go, okay. I go, well, I'm just waiting to go in and speak. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm Phil Alexander. I'm a keynote speaker here. If you delay this, you delay this another 5 minutes, I'm going to be in trouble. Well, why aren't you parked in a spot? I go, well, there are no spots. I go, look it up, room 217, Philip Alexander. You'll see I'm the keynote. I go, I'm not even paying to be here. They're paying me to be here. He goes, okay, sir. Well, how long are you going to be? I go, it's only an hour. He goes, okay.
Oh, yes, we're going to talk about simples.
I've got this multi-color, looks like a bomb top. So it's been cool so far,
Yeah, I mean, 2 conventions in 3 weeks. That's quite the undertaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, next year's in Vegas, at least for the IWCA. I believe it to be in Vegas, so I might go to that under a different umbrella. Might not. Not sure yet. I want to see Vegas. I've never been there, and so it'd be more of a go to the trade show, hang out for half a day, and go see Vegas.
Yeah, an excuse for a write-off. You know what I mean? So you can go see Vegas.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's the way I do it.
So I'm not a gambler and I'm not a drinker. So what am I going to do in Vegas? You know what I'm saying?
You kind of do what all the other old ladies do: stare at water fountains and walk around a desert.
Suck dick for money.
Exactly.
Yeah, suck dick for money like I did.
I would go out on the street and look for transvestites personally. And just stand there and fucking laugh.
There's probably a few.
What are you thinking? You know what I'm saying? What are you thinking? You could choke a moose with that thing. It's not working for you.
Man. Yeah, that would Vegas is always fun. It sucks if you don't gamble, but it's fun. So since they got the sports book too, I haven't been out since they've done that. Where they have the FanDuel sports book out there, because it's been a couple of years since I've been out there, but it's really fun to like bet on games and lose all your money in a couple hours instead of 10 minutes. So it's kind of a nice way to lose money.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cool beans, man. What's going on in your world, TJ?
Same shit, different day. It's cold. I'm
Yeah.
cleaning windows and all that great stuff.
Can't complain about that as long as you're working, you know?
Yeah.
Well, spring will be here soon enough, and we can all hate it together equally. So
Right.
it'll be fun. I'm looking forward
Super
to
excited myself about that. Can't wait.
it. Yeah, you get excited for April, and by the time May hits, you're like, oh, this sucks. Every year I do the same thing to myself. You get a month of being excited, and then I'm just like, well, this is what it is now.
Yeah.
I'm going out to Vegas for sure. I mean, if Wash Boy's going out to Vegas, I'd probably go if he went.
I want to.
I gotta hang out with the
I
homie.
want to meet.
I
Yeah.
can't. I
Yeah,
can't go
yeah.
to. I can't go. I can already tell you I'm not going to be able to go because I don't want
Yeah.
to get beat up.
By
Oh
who?
yeah, they're looking for you.
They're looking for me, man.
Are they out in the streets for you? Is it a Pollock looking for you, or who's
I
out?
have no idea.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm not over it because when I meet someone at one of these shows, I always watch their posture as to, because like occasionally you hear, oh man, hey, I see you guys on the podcast. What's going on? And you're wondering what the reaction is going to be. Is it a negative thing or is it a positive thing? Not generally, it's all been positive, which is always good, you know.
Mm.
But sometimes it's really cool to put a face to the name, you know.
Yeah, I mean, did you meet anybody out there that watches the show that like you hadn't met yet, or? At the last
Well,
convention?
at IWCA, I got to hang with Jay Camaro.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I saw him coming from a mile away. I'm like, oh shit. And I think Alex kind of stepped back, like, what's gonna happen now, you know? And I'm like, well. And he walked up and shook my hand, and we had good conversation for a half hour or so, you know. And yeah, I met a couple of good people, you know, that I didn't go to meet them, but we just stumbled upon each other. And I'm not really good with names and stuff on Facebook and all that, you know. But the problem is they gave name badges that were so small I couldn't read them. So I'm trying to address them in a way, and I'm like what? You know?
You stared longingly into your chest.
Yeah. Let me take a picture of you, and then I'm zooming in on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Bill.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a dick on this later and send it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it was funny because we were setting up for this show, and we got the big WCR banner at a table with some chairs, and 4 guys, pressure washers, came up, and we were just talking with them, really nice guys, and I go, hey, can you guys do me a favor? Stand behind the table here so I can get everybody's picture standing in our booth so we could show our bosses that we're physically working. And they're like, okay. And then as soon as they leave, I look at Steve-O and I'm like, they have no idea what I'm going to do with that picture. But it's all fun. You know, I mean, like I said, it'll be interesting. I got to talk with Jamie Schmidt. He's a good dude. You know, the usual.
Yeah, he seems like a fun guy to hang out with. Like he'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Michael Draper's here. You know, all the soft wash, pressure wash guys. You know, and again, I don't follow too much of that, but I know there's a lot of drama, so I'm always looking to see what's going to happen next. You know.
Yeah. Are you going on a romantic lunch with John Sacco tomorrow, or you know
I would love to.
Somewhere.
John Sacco is the man.
He seems like it. I really want to hang out with him sometime.
Dude, he's got that AK for the M16 pressure wash gun on display. That thing is badass. It is
AR-15,
totally cool.
but you know.
AR-15. Well, no, he's got a couple different ones. He's making all
now?
different ones now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. He's got one that looks like a kid's toy. It's pink and blue and everything, so that it's obviously not a real gun because the AR looks fucking lethal from 5 feet away. You go walking around with that. He keeps it in a big case, looks like a freaking rifle case. He puts it up on the table and he's opening it up, and people are looking at him like, what is this guy got? He's going to shoot the place up. But I'm sure I'll get to hang with Sacco a little bit. He was real busy running around setting up his booth, and then I think he had to leave because he forgot something, and showed back up a couple hours later. But yeah,
That's good. Well, he's not far from Orlando either, right? Like he's only like a couple hours,
No.
maybe.
Yeah. He's a couple hours away. I think he had to go. I think his wife brought something. I think he said something like a sign. They've got a couple signs on their booth. He's already posted pictures of it up, and he forgot it. And I guess his wife met him somewhere. So no, it's all good. John Sacco's a genuine dude.
He is. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Doing push-ups just for Jersey. I don't know, man. Jersey is he's a pretty tall guy. Wash boy. I don't know. I don't know if you could take him, but maybe you could.
What's with all these dudes who always want to fight motherfuckers, man?
That's a bunch of dudes in a chat room. You know what I mean? It's kind of how that goes. As soon as you say I'll fight you, like I could stab you. You know what I mean? It evolves real fast.
I'm just gonna be honest, man. Like, somebody comes at me with that kind of energy, I'm just gonna let you know. I'll stick my fucking finger in your eye socket to the second knuckle just to whoop your ass. Just so you know. Like, I'm going for blood. I'm not taking no L's. I'll do whatever I gotta do.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling that if someone goes to fight you, I'm either helping or watching. I'm definitely going to be around for it.
I've got a 2-inch pocket knife. I'll stab you. Honestly. Just letting you know now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw...
I'm just being... I mean, this ain't long enough to get to nobody's organs or nothing, but that motherfucker's going to hurt after about 6-7 times. I puncture your ass, turn you into a fucking screen door.
Exactly.
Chucky over here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, like, that kind of, like, put me off when you told me that. I was just like, man, is this dude here? Because I'm going to kick his ass. What? Like, man, like, either way, listen, either way, I'm just saying, like, that, I don't understand that energy,
well, I don't think that's something you joke about because...
Nah, I just don't understand that energy.
It's not funny. So I don't know, dude, if it was serious and he knows who you are from the podcast, there's no way they didn't know who I was. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I told that kid, if you find this guy, you send him to the booth A or B, you bring him to me, and we're going to get this straight.
There's only one dude in this, there's only one dude I've ever come across in any of these groups. And doing this podcast all these years, there's only one dude that I would like, literally, I will fight that motherfucker if he wants to fight, and that's that Jose Neto dude. I'll fight that fucking dude anytime, any place. I already told him that. I'll break his fucking teeth right out of his fucking skull. Like, I will literally do bad, nasty harm to that guy. Like, straight up. The shit he said about my wife and my fucking kids... Again, I'll stomp his fucking guts out of his mouth. So hopefully it was him. Hopefully he was there looking for me. So maybe I'll go to Las Vegas just to catch a case. You know what I mean? I can't stand that fucking.
Taking it a little too much of an extreme. I think honestly.
Or
I don't know why it would have.
Or you just don't mention shit like that, and then I wouldn't get pissed off because if you think it's funny, haha. I don't think it's funny, haha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
You know, you just don't.
You
just don't say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You just don't. In my personal opinion, you don't say shit like that unless you mean it.
That's my opinion.
You know what I mean?
Or you don't say something like that thinking it's fucking funny because it's not.
Yeah, it's not funny. I don't find it
funny
whatsoever.
Somebody you don't know. I could say something like that to you because we're friends.
Yeah, and it'd be whatever. You know what I mean? I wouldn't think twice of it. But if you don't know me, to say something, that's a threat. And I take that shit seriously.
It's real weird.
I'm not hood or no shit like that, but, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I don't take threats like that lightly. You know what I mean? Like...
No, it's fucking weird to talk to somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
I see you on the internet, so now we're friends. What are you talking about? I'm not talking to you.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
that's the same thing too. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, let's not get too weird here. Now, if we build a dialogue together or something like that, that's one thing. You know what I mean?
The only person I allowed that for that I didn't really know at the time when I met him was Jacob Dell.
Right.
Because he came right over, got real close to me, told me I was handsome, and hugged me, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
this
You
is
know, what
fine.
do you do about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, all right.
And I really never had Washboard. I never really had a problem with that dude. I don't know what that dude's deal is. I mean, other than I'm fat and that bothers him. But yeah, I don't know. He just started calling Jennifer a meth head and shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
That's just fucking dude.
just like
Way over the line.
yeah, just way over the line. And you know, I started talking about it, him being a terrible father, and that's why he's single. And what's it like to be sad and alone? Is that why your wife left you? Because you look like a fucking total piece of shit. You know what I mean? So once he started doing that, I was like, well, I guess now I can just, the gloves are off, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything's off the
You know what,
table.
though? Look, I'm sure. I think with the internet thing, though, it reminds you, and I'm sure you've seen it, of that video
Yeah.
where the two dogs are across the lake, and he's like, "What's your name?" He says, "Ezekiel." Fuck you, Ezekiel.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
your name? My name is Will.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then he says something about his mom.
Yeah. You see that fire? Yeah.
know,
Don't you do it.
Yeah.
You see that fire? Don't you
Yeah.
do it. You see that fire? Yeah. I made that. And then I banged your mom next to it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I just, I'm not, not like maybe 20 years ago, I'd be like I was a really, I was a fucking delinquent, man. I was a total fuck up and a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And, anyone that knows me in my personal life knows what I used to like. That was what I used to like, go out to the bar, get drunk, and let's see who we can fucking, let's see whose nose we could break. You know what I mean? That was like, we're goons, you know what I mean? And, and I've, I'm not saying I've never had my ass, because I've had my ass whooped plenty of times. You know what I mean? I don't think you've ever been in a fight unless you had your ass whooped, to be quite honest with you. I don't know anybody with an undefeated street fighting record, you know what I'm saying? But you get to a certain point in your life, you're like, man, that shit was so fucking stupid. What was I thinking? I could have hurt somebody. I could have killed somebody. You know what I mean? It's just like,
It's reckless living.
Yeah.
Reckless.
Super reckless.
You know what the funny thing is? When you're older, it's not the same. But when you're a kid,
Uh-huh.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, and you get in a fight with someone, a lot of times you become really good friends with that fucking dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's like how you become friends in middle school. Like you definitely
Yeah.
whoop your friend's ass or they beat you up. One or the other happened.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like little kid in 3rd grade sees a girl they think is cute. He walks up, punches her in the back of the head, makes her cry. Next thing you know, they're dating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how they show it.
I just don't see any point in, I would never do something like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go to a trade show with my peers looking for fucking trouble. Like, man, what kind of,
Well, again,
what are you doing?
That person's never fought a person in their life.
What are you doing with your life?
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
I still remember to this day being 18, turning 19. I used to go to hardcore shows, and then this guy must have been, I thought he was 50, but I was 18. He was probably like 35. And he was pushing people around, and I walked up and square punched this dude in the face, and he laughed in my face. He was like, "That's nice, little boy," and then beat the living shit out of me. And I will never forget that. And once that happens, I don't talk to people in that manner anymore because I got my ass handed to me. And that's not fun. It's just not.
No, at first I took it as a threat. So I was kind of mentally on guard to see if someone was going to approach.
I mean, I just don't know.
And then I started to say, is this just a bad sense of humor? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the fact that over the next 9 hours, nobody came up and said, hey, where's TJ? Or the guy from the AWC booth sent me to come talk to you. There was no name to the state, no face to the statement. So at that point, I got to say it was probably just a bad joke. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the strange thing is nobody came up to me and acknowledged that statement. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. I had a dude
No.
fucking when I was a freshman in high school. This carload of seniors caught me, because some senior's girlfriend was sweet on me, you know what I mean? Because I used to be real easy on the eyes. Not so much anymore, you know what I mean? I'm kind of a fat piece of shit now, but back in the day, I was quite the looker, you know what I mean? I had a little physique on me, some big blue eyes, you know what I mean? I was svelte, you know what I mean? And she was sweet on me a little bit, and I had no aspirations to date this girl because I was taught me and Jennifer had been already started dating and stuff like that, so I already had a cool girlfriend, you know what I mean, a pretty girl already, you know what I'm saying? So these
Yeah.
fucking dudes rolled up on me, man, and one of the dudes fucking gigantic motherfucker. You got him now. At the time, probably weighed like 135 pounds. It's like fucking 5'10", you know what I mean? Just a little dude, you know what I mean? And
We're like five,
yeah,
six
and
maybe.
I I look out of the corner of my eyes and I see this car pull up, and all these dudes get out of the car, and the one guy grabs me and puts. No, I had no Jenko jeans. I was not that dude. I rode 20-inch bicycles. I had no. You couldn't ride a 20-inch BMX bike with fucking stovepipe pants. That's for you fucking skater nerds. But anyways, um,
Yeah.
I this dude grabs me from behind, holds my arms behind my back, and this dude walks up and fucking clocks me. You know what I mean? Fucking eye almost instantly swells up. I mean, he only hit me one time. And then they, ran and jumped back in the car because they got me in front of this old dude's house. And he was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Fucking. So he kind of saved me, probably saved me from a worser beating. And to that point, Jacob's point is, I see that dude still to this day. The first time I'd seen him in probably fucking, I don't know, 15 years, I'd say. I was like in my 30s. I'm walking through the mall, and he's like, hey, man, what's up? I was like, listen, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my fucking face, I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass and toss you in that water fountain. Because now I'm like a foot taller than this fucking dude. You know what I mean? I'm a man now. You know what I mean? I'm not no fucking little kid no more. You know what I mean? The look on his fucking face was priceless, man. I don't know I don't know if Jennifer was with me. Oh, it might have been Jeremy. No, my buddy Jeremy was with me. The look on his fucking face, man, like it was priceless. You know, and he's like, man, you still, like he's like, man, he's still mad about that. You know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was man, dude, and I still see him now. He doesn't say anything to me anymore, but I still see him. I still give him the old evil eye, like you know what I mean? I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? I'll never forget that as long as I live. Like if I see him on the side of the road and he's changing a tire and it's raining, I'm gonna try to find a puddle. You know what I mean? Fuck that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
You never forget someone who gets you, man.
Yeah,
You
never.
And what about you, Mark? Do you have one like when you were younger where someone got you good?
I dated a girl for 4 years that was nothing but trouble, and I was too fucking blind to see it. Right. So I was thinking about the story that I haven't thought of this story in a long time. But when you were saying that, so I had 68 Bronco. Where I grew up, everybody would party around a lake. There'd be a fucking lake in the middle of nowhere. There'd be a bonfire. Everybody hung out there. It was always cool. And the girl I was dating got with, with this other guy I knew, but we weren't friends. His name was Glenn. Well, my girlfriend hated Glenn's girlfriend, and my girlfriend knew Glenn. I didn't really know him. So all of a sudden, I had a 68 Bronco. My truck comes back to the house, and the fucking rear of the truck is covered in fucking grass and mud. And my girlfriend she's like, I'm going to the store. And I'm like, what the fuck did you do with this truck? And she's like, oh, I just did a lawn job. And I'm like, whatever. Fast forward 3 months, we go to this lake party, right? And I'm pulling in with my girlfriend, just driving through the gravel, and there's 3 fucking big dudes standing in the path, right? So I'm like, who the fuck? That's that Glenn dude. That's Garrett, and I didn't know the third guy. And all of them, of course, are fucking bigger than me. I was 17, 18 years old, but I had some decent size to me. So she's like, my girlfriend's like, fucking run him over, run him over. I'm not gonna fucking run somebody over here. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you do in this situation. So I stopped the truck, and one of them walks over. I think it was the guy Glenn, and literally pulled me out the fucking window. Okay, dragged me out, and I fucking kind of stumble. I stand up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Your fucking bitch girlfriend turfed my girlfriend's yard. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Next thing you know, like TJ, I'm in a bear hug, and the guy Glenn fucking swings on me. The other guy throws me to the ground. I get up, and I'm like, he goes, what do you got to say to that? I go, you guys are a fucking bunch of pussies. There's not one of you that's not fucking twice the size of me, and it's going to take three of you.
Right.
Three of you?
Right.
I go, not even one at a time?
Right.
To kick the shit out of me, it's going to take three? And they did. You know, I heard a few of them. So listen to this. Dude, I'm not kidding you. Fast forward at least 15 years. 15 years. I'm in this bar called Desperados. I'm not a bar guy, but it was a country bar. A couple buddies went. I keep seeing this guy fucking looking at me out of the corner of his eye. You know, he's sitting at the bar. He kept looking over. And I'm like, it wasn't a point where I was uncomfortable, but all of a sudden the barmaid comes up with a Budweiser. And she taps me on the shoulder. She goes, you see that guy over there? Yeah. He wanted me to send you this beer. So I grab the beer and I walk up, start walking to the guy. And I'm like 5 steps away and I realize who it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Glenn, right? And he goes, I thought that was you. You remember me? I go, yeah, the last time I saw you, were stomping my fucking guts out with 2 of your pussy friends. He goes, well, I just wanted to apologize and buy you a beer. And I kind of step back and I say, you know what, I'm out of that. I had probably just met Kate and I was like, you know what you did was not fucking cool. I go, but I'll drink the beer with you. We spoke, you know, we're not friends, we don't keep in touch, but he kind of wanted to make amends. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, I still have a question to this day. 3 of you really? 3 fucking big dudes. I was 5'5", 5'4" at the time. No one was under, you know, at least.
Just Jacob said you were at a gay bar. Did you get?
Yeah,
Hey Seth,
no,
did you like that TikTok I sent you?
Yeah.
Hey, did you like that TikTok I sent you, Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting whatever.
I wish fucking I knew what Mark's TikTok name was so I could send him shit directly. It's so much better when you can send it on TikTok.
Oh, it's so much easier.
Dude, Seth, I know you got a semi when you open that.
Yeah, I was like, I started watching and just assumed it was like what
some kind of joke.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so bad. These 2 dudes in camo are like fucking singing to each other and they're like holding each other and it looks like they're about to do like, yeah, right, bitch. These motherfuckers go into the full-on tonsil hockey, man. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was weird. It was just like
so bad. Like I don't know what it is about watching, like seeing 2 dudes do that, but I just can't, man. I can't.
I think it's like 2 bearded dudes that you're not expecting it's gonna happen either. You know what I mean? Like it was more like if it had been something else, it would have been like, okay, like I'm mentally prepared to see this.
Is that bad? Is that bad? Is that bad to like not want to see that? Am I a bad person for that?
Here's what it is. Here's what it is, TJ. Think of it like this: the generation now, it's completely acceptable. Okay, imagine your grandfather watching that video. You know what I'm saying? Someone from your grandpa's generation would be like, what the? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally heinous for them. It's acceptable like now, and it's even more acceptable. He would be angry. Yeah, he'd probably be angry.
Right.
You know,
I laughed and I was just like, ugh, gross. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what's changing in the culture and stuff too. It's like I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't ready for it. Like, that's all I was.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of like a straight couple making out. And I don't like public
PDA.
Displays of affection are just like weird to me. And just to throw on 2 bearded dudes in camo, like fucking shoving their tongues down each other. So this wasn't like a peck on the mouth. This was like, these motherfuckers are about to go give each other some throat right after they turn that shit off. You know what I mean?
Like,
it was bad, dude.
Yeah. This video was foreplay, basically.
Yeah, dude, it was.
You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit! All right. very intimate
Hey,
moment.
Mark Kladinsky really likes your story, Mark, and he put a bunch of periods after, so that I guess that means that he doesn't like my story. But fuck Mark.
I don't know. I can't see any comments right now, but so I gotta ask CJ. The $1,000,000 question is: did you subscribe?
Oh yeah, I followed for sure, dude.
Yeah.
I followed for more awesome content like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm anxious. I turned on notifications, so I want to be one of the first to give that a like. You know what I'm saying?
My For You page is quite wild, but I have yet to encounter that. I was like, wow, all right. Like, what's suggested for you is a little different than what's suggested for me.
It was just a little weird. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's anything right or wrong with it. It's just weird. You know what I mean? It's just a little weird. So.
Yeah, no, it's just, again, you caught me off guard with that one.
Just Jacob said they were in camo, so they thought people couldn't see them.
Every once in a while, that guy gets me. Every once in a while.
There is, we've talked about this, and I've, people are commenting about how they'd like to meet us and all that stuff. I would really like one of these days to somehow figure that out. You know what I mean? Like a Squeegee Life podcast meet and greet or something like that. That really has nothing to do with any of this stuff that we're all involved in. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, Keith, that we've spoke about this and jamboree and barbecue and all that shit. But realistically, the only way it's going to happen is for all of us to commit to either going to the huge, going to.
I'm never going to the huge convention again. I can tell you that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Now that Seth has insulted the fucking one of the owners of the huge convention, I think we're barred for life.
I stand by my insult. I stand by it. I gotta say, it's nothing. Well, it is personal.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna pursue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not my cup of tea, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you just move on with it.
Hey.
What does it matter that some weird guy in Boston doesn't like you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be. And I'll be completely honest, like the IWCA thing, I mean, I'm not saying I'll never, ever attend it or anything like that, but I don't know, man. There's like a vibe, you know what I mean? And that, just for me, just for whatever reason, and maybe it's because I've never gone, but it just doesn't pass the vibe check for me. Like, it's not, I really wanted to go to the huge convention for a long time, because, like, the vibe I get from Chris and Alex, you know what I mean? I just get this vibe from them, like, this is going to be cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe from. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get that vibe from that show, and I also don't get that vibe from Mark. And I'm not saying Mark has said anything disparagingly about the IWCA's. That's not at all. But from what Mark has like us talking to Mark and Mark talk, you know what I mean? It just doesn't see. I just don't get that vibe.
Well, let me.
You sound like that.
What have you been expelled? What are you doing?
I was gonna say this.
What's that guy's name? What's the McVicker?
I don't know.
Principal McVicker.
Is it McVicker?
Yes, Principal McVicker. He was in Butthead. You've been expelled. Anyway. They are making a new movie, but nonetheless, okay, I've seen the IWCA evolve, and I'm going to say this, that in 2004 when I went, it was a big dick contest. It was a bunch of big heavy hitters, legends in their own minds. Everybody's walking around carrying the big stick, okay, and it sucked. But that has changed a lot, and I will say this. For someone new to the industry, meaning less than 5-7 years, there's a lot to offer somebody new. And it's hands-on learning that you're not going to get on a YouTube channel.
Right, yeah.
Not going to get.
For
it
sure.
could be one-on-one. Like, you could walk up to...
That was a dig at me, but keep going. Keep going.
No.
I'm just a fucking janitor, but keep going.
Yeah. No, but it's a place where I could walk up to Seth. You're back out of this. I can walk up to Seth and go, hey, man, I saw you do this. And why or how, or how did you learn how to do that? And usually extract some good information and knowledge.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
For the newbie window cleaner, it's a good tool. for somebody like any of us, over 10 to 15 years experience, you have to look at it from a different vantage point. Like now, you're the guy that someone might want to ask you a question.
You got to be like the elder statesman now. That's your job now.
Yeah.
Who is?
Like, dude, I'm not lying. In 2004, I was swinging the squeegee in the speed contest, and now I don't even watch it anymore. I have no desire to do that. Okay.
Mm.
So you get different things out of it in different levels. Do I think it's great for new companies, new window cleaners? Absolutely. For us older veterans, you're not going to extract too much out of it.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like networking and meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you got to go to at least one. Because look,
I have been
it's
to
only
one.
my
I've been to
opinion
the
that-
huge convention.
No, that's not
Oh.
IWCA.
I'll tell you what.
I've never
I'll tell
been
you
to it.
what. I promise I'll go to the IWCA when I win Window Cleaner of the Year.
I won
All right,
that
me and
already.
Mark will
I
make
won
the
that.
trophy. We'll send
When
it.
I'm being presented with
You
the
said I won that?
hey, what? Yeah, I seen it, dude. I figure I might be in line. You know what I mean? I think you know, a couple more years I might get there. You know what I mean? Shit.
You're gonna have to wear the bibs though if you get accepted with no shirt on underneath, just the bibs.
There
Like
you
I'm
go.
here, I'm the best.
Yeah.
All of you can
Oh, you're talking about me doing that, accepting it in my bibbed overalls, dude. I'd do that in a
Yes.
heartbeat.
Yeah, no shirt on, but just the bibs.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to get in a little better shape than I am. You know what I mean? But
No.
no,
I think the TJ.
No, you'd be fine.
I
Either
think-
way, that would be amazing.
I think TJ I know and love would do it without a fucking prize.
oh yes,
Just because.
probably.
You got to make sure that there's some nipple hanging out too.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I know that's really important to the whole gimmick is the nipple. You know what I mean?
Well, it is
Yeah.
at least to me it is.
Yeah.
At least to me it is. You know?
Hey, if it makes me and Mark laugh, we want to see it.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Is if you guys
exactly.
if you guys are entertained, that's all that really
Yeah.
matters. Are you not
Yeah,
entertained?
Yeah.
The chicken is on the stage dancing on the hot plate right now. Chicka chicka chicka.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to bring my fucking clown. I'll pack my clown shoes for you guys.
There you go.
I'll
There you
take
go,
care
Mark.
of you fellers.
Listen, most of the time of anything I do when I'm around people that I'm friends with is I try to entertain them. So I would probably, if you're like, hey, go do this, I'm like, oh, all right, I'll go do that. I don't care.
Oh, dude.
There's a joke in everything. You just got to find that joke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Fucking around
and
is
if
the
you like,
best part of hanging out.
Yeah,
if you enjoy watching people, it's a great place to go. You know what I'm saying?
right. I'm sure.
Oh, I basically just walk around and go, look at this fucking idiot. And look at that guy.
I mean, what's so funny about that is that's what he did.
That's the whole
That's
time.
the whole
Look at
time.
this idiot.
I mean, me and Seth were attached at the hip that whole time that we were
Yeah.
that we went to the huge convention that year. You know, because I got to admit there was some nerves there, man. And like I said, a lot of fucking shit about Chris Lamborghini's and Luke, and I talked a lot of shit. I went there prepared. I went there in my mind prepared, like I might have to fight a couple of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And Seth knows that. I told him in the car, I was like, "There's a good chance." I'm saying I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but there's a chance I might have to fight somebody. And Seth's like, well, really? I was like, you never know, man. These guys, you never know. I've said a lot of things. They said a lot of shit about me, and I retaliated too. You know what I mean? So we went back and forth quite a bit, but it, of course, didn't turn out that way. Everyone that I hung out with at the huge convention, I mean, Steve-O is probably one of the coolest fucking dudes. Like, you get one Steve-O on the internet, and then you get Steve-O. Then you get Steven Richardson. And Steven Richardson is a fucking awesome fucking dude. Not that Steve-O isn't, but
No.
Steven Richardson
very
is
laid back.
Steven Richardson is a fuck cooler than the other side of the pillow in person. That dude is cool. Luke, same way. Luke, same fucking way. Completely different fucking guy. I mean, well, you guys seen who Luke really is. Fucking
Yeah.
Waco, Texas Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, Branch Davidian Luke.
I think that Luke is probably going to get very famous real quick when they make the next Helter Skelter video.
Right.
Yeah, the next Ted Kaczynski.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob Dell, same thing. Jacob Dell is a sweetheart in person. I mean, he's still Jacob Dell from the internet, but he's a sweetie in person too.
Yeah.
Mike Nichols, another good dude that we met. I mean, I'll be friends with Mike forever.
I could just listen to him tell a
Yeah,
story.
just listen to him
You know what
talk. I
I
mean,
was like,
just
all
yeah,
right.
and he smells good, and he's a hugger, and that's a big thing for me. And he's not a pat on the back hugger. He's like a hugger. You know what I mean? Like pats on the back seem like that's not real. That's like, oh, like hurry up. That's like tapping out of the hug. And when you give a hug, you're
Well, I
just
think
supposed to
Mike
correct hold. You're
First of
not
all,
supposed to tap.
the only I haven't been fortunate enough to hang with Mike Nichols. I think Mike Nichols, to complete the persona that I see in my mind, is a fucking banjo slung over his shoulder.
No.
Okay, and Mike Nichols sent me a message saying that him and Eddie Stewart were fishing together.
Yeah.
I go, dude, you got to record every minute of that because that would be fucking stellar.
He's like a white Midwest Morgan Freeman. You know what I'm saying? Like he just like he'd talk and he'd stop talking. You know what I mean? He's listen to him. He's the Midwest white Morgan Freeman.
That's so good.
That's who he is.
That is it. That is it too. Man, that is a spot on description, Seth. Very, very well
He is.
done.
The second he starts talking,
Yes,
like,
dude. It's
all
just, it's really comforting. You know what I mean? I don't think Mark, or I don't think he had any, Mark, I don't think he ever had any trouble in his whole life, I don't think. Mike Nichols.
Yeah.
Not a single bit.
No.
No, he's too smooth for it either. Like I can picture him like picking up his wife and whispering sweet nothings and then reading to first graders in the library. They're like, oh hey, Mike's here. Yeah, he's just like off. It's it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe him other than that.
That was a good, I mean, we had a really good time at the huge convention, that last one they did before all this shit popped off. We had a really good time. I mean, we killed fucking Fluff Daddy. I mean, we did Fluff
Mark
Daddy
Beckett.
so dirty at the huge convention. He don't even clean windows anymore. He's like, I'm
dude.
done, dude.
Everyone brought him over to me and said, "Oh, this dude can drink," and I was like, "All right, cool."
No.
Let's see about that. Let's see.
No, he can't.
Shot.
Yeah.
Shot.
Yeah,
I just
it
can't
was
second
bad.
shot.
You did
He
him.
slept in a parking lot. He had a hotel room.
Yeah. Oh my God,
That
that's
was
so
fun.
funny, dude. You shouldn't be flattered, Mike. You're a great dude, man. If you don't know it, you should know it by now.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
Straight up
but
good
Fluff
dude.
Daddy,
I met
yeah,
Diego
we-
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was cool as shit.
Diego was cool, but Diego is he's intimidating.
He's big.
Yeah, he's
I'm not
he's
saying
like
tall.
he's
just
like
as
fucking
wide
like
as
a
he
fucking
is
tree
tall.
stump. He's a tree stump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the definition. He's the definition of bridge troll. I mean, he's that dude. He's like, you're not getting past that bridge. You're not. You're paying
When
the
someone's
toll,
neck
or you're
goes
gonna get
to your
buried.
shoulders,
Yeah, it's just like
it's two triangles.
yeah.
posted
Somebody
up on
just
shoulders,
like
you know
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
just smashed
Yeah.
his head on his body. You know what I mean? They just mooshed him all together.
Yeah, just made him a brick. Yeah,
Well,
dude is-
that was probably my favorite moment at the huge convention was Diego was sitting by himself for the most part, and kind of people were just kind of shuffling past him because he gives that "don't come over here and talk to me" vibe. And he actually got up and come over and shook my hand and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, nice to meet you. I was like, oh man, that made me feel good. Just like, oh cool. And now me and him, we occasionally we chat and shit. We got I think a pretty good rapport. Diego's cool as fuck, dude. That's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
For the guy going through everything that he went through, and he's still
To
like
still
that
be
kind of
doing it
chill
like that,
dude,
hell
it's
yeah.
kind of like
Right.
means that's hard to do.
Yeah, so that's the shout out portion of the show where we suck everyone off.
Yep, exactly. That's
And,
what I'm up
I don't know where what do we do now?
to. Now let's make fun of people.
All right, let's make fun of people.
We got to switch it up. We got to go.
So-
All right, Mark.
Yeah.
Speaking of-
Plant the alien
You
next
don't
time.
Hey, speaking of people without necks, what about Jacob? Just Jacob there. What's his last name?
Jacob Williams.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jacob No Neck Williams.
Chief Neckery in the building.
PJ, you were on that kick for a while with the no neck pictures.
Yeah.
Sending out.
No neck. I'd go to Nashville if y'all go. What's Nashville?
I don't know.
Is the huge convention in Nashville?
No, is it? Is it in Nashville?
I
I
don't
thought
know.
they was like always.
I don't think Seth can go to the huge convention anymore.
I'm smooth on that. I wanted to say that, but you know what I'm
and
saying?
I will never
It's like,
be.
maybe I could say that, but I don't know about to.
It was. Maybe Mark probably don't get that. He probably doesn't understand that reference.
Cool.
But I'll make sure that you understand the reference after the show's over. All right, Mark. I'll make sure you understand. You're gonna laugh your ass off when I send it to you. It's gonna be so good.
It's a famous speech.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good, dude.
1960s.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good.
It's all I can think of in my head.
Yes.
And I almost said, I'm like, I have to type this to like, just, like I have to do this.
The next huge is in Nashville.
Dude, Nashville's cool. I like Nashville a lot. It's a fun city to hang out in.
But the whole huge convention thing, bro, it's just like I don't know.
Honestly, man, I say we go to the middle of the woods, rent cabins, and hang out. Like, you know what I mean? Like a place that's got like 10 or 15
I would commit to that. I would commit to that. So that way, guys, that if you want to go to the huge convention, cool. Or you can come up into the woods and hang out with us afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, honestly, like, if you're going to fly out for it, you're a half hour away. Like, because I'm like, I would hang out, but I don't want to sleep in the same house or hotel with these fucking Mongoloids. I want my own cabin where I can just do my own fucking thing if I don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert.
Yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I'm just not a huge fan of going to huge anythings. You know what I mean? I'm not a big old group kind of guy. I'm just not, that's not my thing. You know what I mean? It just never has been.
I say we just start the huge wiener convention and we just hang out.
Yeah, Big Dick Bandit convention.
Big Dick convention. I mean, that's all it is anyway.
Yeah.
I make $30,000 a week. Man, dude, I saw you drive up in a Mazda.
This motherfucker said, I see you drive up in a Mazda.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, talking. I'm gonna sell you $1,600 a week courses, dude. I'm like, your van looks like a rape van. Like, shut up. The only thing you're selling is candy.
Dude. I can't.
No, you see some of these guys. I'm like,
I've not yet seen. Like, does Keith Calfast, does he charge for shit, or does he just write books and shit? He's not a coach, is he? He's not a coach, is he? Like a.
I don't think so. I don't know. He's one of the few that I don't mind that's like kind of in that like motivational kind of guy thing. It's like it seems like he's a legit dude. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'm not buying courses from him. But
I don't have any interaction with Keith Califas, but I have to say this, dude. I've said it before, but to me it's fucking hilarious. 2 years ago at IWCA, Keith Califas was a keynote speaker. Jersey and I come walking in. I had no idea what we were doing because I never had worked a show or anything.
Right.
And Jersey's like, oh, we got to walk by here, and this is where we're going to set up our booths and this and that. And there's these big bifold doors, like in a huge room, right? And the door was open, like enough to walk in. And Keith Califas is on stage. Every table is round. Everybody is socially distant. There must be 100 to 200. I mean, it's hard to judge how many people were there because of the gap, you know? But there was at least well into the hundreds of people there. And in the 2 minutes that Jersey and I stuck our head in to see what was going on, Keith Califas dropped the F-bomb 3 fucking times. We turned around. I had my hand over my mouth like, oh, my God. We turned around, we were sitting there bullshitting, and he cleared the fucking room. 50% of the people.
There must have been a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses there.
Listen, the religious thing is all side. See, that's why I just don't think that's a good fit for me. Everyone's like, guys should do a live podcast from the IWC. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? Not a single one of them. There's like maybe fucking 20 people that go to that IWCA convention that even knows who the fuck we are or listen or pay attention. So I'm going to go there and gallivant around fuck that.
Yeah, but if we could tame it down, you'd get more followers. I think we would. There's a lot of guys that just not exposed.
You want what you're saying is so let me get this straight. What you're saying is we should change the podcast so we can go to the IWCA and with our heads held up high?
No. No, no, no.
What we
What I'm
do,
saying
this is what we do as the Squeegee Life podcast. We send the old dude with all the respect to the show. He goes around and says, where's the Squeegee Life shirt? Says, hey, does a couple of fart jokes, you know what I mean? And everybody loves him. And then, we do something else, you know what I mean? So
he's the Santa Claus.
Are you want?
Of the Squeegee Life
Are
podcast.
you wanting? Are you wanting to produce your own show? I mean, I'll be the producer of it. You can do your own show.
To change the show. I'm just saying to change the show. I'm just saying for that event, if we toned it down a little bit, I think it would be appealing to people in the industry.
But is that the Squeegee Life podcast though?
No, it's not. It's not. And
like...
then they could choose to listen or not at that point. But a lot of people, I think we would get some followers. I just do.
Oh, I know right now, if we stop cussing today, we stopped right now and never said another cuss word, never fucking told another off-color joke or fucking talked about a wiener or a fart or
then
dick
suck.
All right. Yeah, but we'd have twice the following that we'd be probably 3 times the following if that was the case. I'm just saying with the longevity of the show, the experience on the show, because not for nothing, there's quite a bit of experience here, and I feel like the things that I'm good at, there's not very many people that can clean windows the way that I clean windows. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that try to do what I do, and that's whatever. There's a lot of dudes that want to be like Mark and fucking pull all the stains off the glass and bring back scratches and all that shit, but they're pretty good at it, but they're not Mark Tanner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And there's a lot of dudes that want to be fucking badass businessmen and have their shit together, and then there's Seth Byers. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's you know what I mean? So
yeah,
there's you know what I mean? I feel like, if you can't glean anything out of this and all you see is who we are on the outside, then I guess maybe we shouldn't, you know what I mean? Why change?
Then you don't belong.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Why change? Because I don't think there's anyone in this group sitting here right now, the 3 out of the 3 of us, that's a bad person, that's not kind to their fellow man. I don't feel that whatsoever. You know what I mean? I don't think.
No,
it's like, and there are some. But there are some religious people who watch us. Like Mike Nichols is a religious man.
Yeah.
But I think you can separate the two. You know what I mean? Where like he has his belief system. He's also extremely funny. You know what I mean?
But I think he sees us as people. He sees us as people. He's not looking at us in that light, like, well, this guy says.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more guys out there that are like that.
Right.
It's just there's no way I'm gonna sit here. Dude, I spent 18 years of my life sitting in church doing what people told me to do. Like, I can't not be me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, not...
I think we can have a couple segments. I always forget that you brought up Jehovah.
Oh, dude, I honestly, if I hung
think
out
we
Philip
should give
Alexander,
that
I would
5 minutes,
pull out a Bible.
5 minutes to show to tell us one of the stories.
Fucking the way Mark says things. The way Mark says things is always like it comes out like really terrible. I mean, it's not terrible, but the way that he says it.
I find it funny.
I do too. You know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me, but I know like some person would hear what Mark just said and be like, "Jeez."
I'm gonna say this.
Brought up Jehovah.
At IWCA 2 weekends ago, Alex and Jersey both got the unfiltered mark, but with stupid things just like I said to that security guard today, when we pulled around to the other hotel and they had a guard gate there. I told him I was Phil Alexander, keynote speaker, and she's like, "Do you have ID?" I go, "Do you know who Phil is?" And she's like, "No." I go, "Then what does it matter if I give you an ID?"
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got to get in there, and they let us through a gate we weren't supposed to go through. You understand what I'm saying? They saw the unfiltered Mark, which is me, and nobody's gonna squash that. I know I say things in a way that they shouldn't be said.
Right.
It's just me.
Just
like we can't think.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, it's not. I'm not saying that it's not possible. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it'll never happen, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just at a spot in my life right now, that I just don't fucking care enough to change any more of what I'm doing to make a certain group of people happy enough to listen to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like some people will um, turn on this show or get on this channel and watch some of the shit that's put on it and get something from it, and then there's certain people that just will never give it a chance, and who cares? You know, I just don't. I used to bother me. You know what I mean? It used to bug me, but not. It doesn't bug me anymore. You know what I mean? You know, it is.
It all
is
depends what you want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'd rather have 20 guys really like me than 100 guys like what I'm giving them. It isn't me.
Well, I could tell you just the fact, like, you know, the people that you see on the screen that support this show. That for me is affirmation enough. You know what I mean, for what we're doing. You know what I mean. At least some part of the community and our peers appreciate what we do. You know what I mean, and see it for what it is, and know us for who we are. And then, you know, you've got the guys, the Patreon guys, and a lot of these dudes, like, we're watching this show when there was like fucking 7 to 12 people watching every night, 2 nights a week. You know, religiously, you know what I mean? And have still, like, Jason Lehman and, like, all these dudes have just been watching Cameron Kid from, like, the very fucking beginning. You know what I mean? And that's...
the first episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say that I'm not by far any kind of world traveler, but I have done some of these events now, and I've never got any... I've got people come up to me and go, holy shit, yeah, every now and again I watch podcasts. You guys are great. It's always complimentary. I never hear anyone go... And we've seen it online occasionally. I've never had someone come up to me and say, I love the show, but I can't watch it, or I can't stand when you do this. Nobody's ever said anything negative about it.
I've had several people. Well, see, that's, you know, that's the side of this show that you and old Seth over there and Tim, for the most part, and Josh, you motherfuckers never had to deal with. I'm the one that have to deal with the social media side of it, because all of it's attached to me, so I'm the one that has to filter all that shit out. I used to hear it all the time. Like, I love the show, but you know, I was watching it the other night and with my kids, and then you started cussing. I'm like, you're watching a window cleaning podcast with your fucking kids?
It's weird, man. But like, you're always gonna have people, dude. Like, if you go on the national parks page for like Yellowstone, there's a Yelp where people give it 1 star for nature. It's a fucking park. Like, I don't like how the nature's being run. You know what I mean? Like, there's dumb people.
That Old Faithful's only a 1 star in my eyes. God damn it.
Nature, you know what I mean? Like, it's just people are gonna hate stuff. Like, you know, there wasn't enough wastebaskets in the middle of Yellowstone. Like, okay.
But, you know, and for me, dude, and that's really, I'll be honest with you, that's really took, like, a lot of the wind out of my sails doing this. Like, you know, I mean, the fucking people that I have to deal with, it's just like, fuck, man. It makes you not want to do it.
When this is the only exposure I have to, you know, like, being out there somewhat, and I can say, for me, like Steve-O and I were talking about it today, because I was asking him questions about all his videos and everything, and look, I'm not someone that watches his videos. It's nothing personal, okay? I'm not going to get much out of Squeegee technique. I respect the dude for what he does.
I agree.
I respect you for doing what you do, to go out and work all day and then edit and put it up.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
You know, we've said this, understand that when you put yourself out there, you're gonna have to deal.
Oh
with
yeah, and I went into I went into that knowing that, dude. I mean, duh. But you know, you get to a point where, I mean, that's why. I mean, that's one of the. I mean, besides the time and the effort that goes into it, but that was another reason why Luke stopped doing it. You know what I mean? And I can, you know, and I've also had, you know, conversations with Steve. I know it wears on him too. I know that shit wears you out after a while. It's just like, fuck. You know, you just put your hands up like, fuck, man. You know, like, Jesus Christ, dude. Well, you know, I don't learn anything on this channel. You know, you're not explaining anything to me. What? Like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, then this Steve-O, this motherfucker got 20,000 fucking followers on YouTube. he will tell you exactly how you need to do it. I don't need you to tell me. You know what I mean? That I know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. You know what I mean? I know that I'm not telling you how to do this. You know what I mean? Watch the very first video I've ever put up. It says right there in that very first video. This is the way I do it. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do it my way. I'm not telling you how to do shit. This ain't a how-to channel. It's not a how-to channel. There's plenty of how-to channels out there. This is the Squeegee Life channel. Squeegee Life. This is me, how I do what I do. You get to go with me. If you want to watch it, cool. If you don't, that's also cool. On Wednesdays, we do a podcast. There's not very much window cleaning talk going on. There is some. You know what I mean? We do answer questions. But most of the time, it's just life.
Yeah, exactly.
Life of a window cleaner. I mean, it's not it's not rocket surgery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not signing up for sitting down to learn how to clean windows. Yeah. We'll help you with that, but
yeah. I mean, I mean, as somebody like I get questions all the time. I get messages on TikTok constantly. You know, you'd think I had 1 million followers, but I don't. But you know, I don't mind answering questions. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna do a how-to like what soap should you use. These are all the soaps. Let me show you, demonstrate how they.
Could you imagine?
No.
Trying to do that? How boring that would fucking be.
Go to Steve-O's channel. That motherfucker's got 1,000 videos like that. I asked him all the time. I was like, bro, I don't know how you do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but he really enjoys it, and you can see it in his videos that he enjoys that. You know what I mean? He enjoys it. He enjoys himself doing that. So that's, to me, personally, that he's the perfect person to do that because he enjoys it. Why would I I mean, it's not something I enjoy. Why would I fucking do that if I don't enjoy it? You know what I mean? This isn't necessarily...
I mean, but look, it's got to be wearing on every aspect of your life.
Oh, it is.
And their prime example is Luke. Luke literally shut the switch off faster than it went on.
Yeah.
And completely disappeared. Completely.
Well, yeah, when people start calling your private business to ask you questions, man, like at some point you got to be like, the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I love what I do, but I also love to put the bucket in the truck, close the tailgate, walk in the house, and know it's always in the back of my head because it's what I do.
Right.
I don't want to live, eat, and sleep this shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Dude, I've been friends with you, Mark, now for like almost 4 years. And I feel weird calling you in the middle of the day with a question about something. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to bother him. And I'm like, well, I talk to this motherfucker every Wednesday.
No, but you know what, dude? Believe it or not, it's not at a point with me because I don't have the exposure. You have even less exposure, Seth. And TJ's got a lot more exposure than either one of us. And Steve-O has even more. I had a guy come to me today at the pressure wash show, and it wasn't even started. And he goes, hey, is that your truck out there with the skid in the back? And I'm like, yeah. Would you mind answering some questions? I sat and talked to him for 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And he had showed me some pictures of what he's doing, and I'm like, would you mind explaining to me why it's doing this? And I'm like, because you have this is backwards. You're pushing everything through your filtration and then to your brush, whereas you have the right filtration. You need to fill your tank with the filtration, and then nothing but the pump and the delivering the water.
I agree.
You know, and then explain to him about the accumulators, and he was having relay issues, which I've had relay issues lately, so I figured that out. And I really enjoy, it's not about money, it's not about me selling him anything, it's about me sharing my experiences with it. I enjoy that part of it. Now, if it was every single day, and it would be, sometimes you start to go, well, these questions, you should know better than to be even, you know what I'm saying? It would be wearing and take its toll. I would never let it get to a point where it would take its toll. But that's what happened to Luke.
We were talking about, because my X2 froze in that storage unit and busted the front.
Yep.
The resin housing broke and the sediment filter housing broke, so I had to buy those 2 new plastic parts. Well, I didn't really look. I was so fucking upset that it was fucked up that I haven't really taken a really good look at it to see what else is wrong with it. And I'd mentioned...
Did it make like a resin popsicle at least?
Yeah, it was, yeah. But, I was thinking, I know I mentioned that I was going to take it apart and, retrofit this. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go like,
No.
no, I think I'm going to, get it back running, serviceable, so I have them, because my hydro card is nice and everything, but that's a lug. And it would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice to make sure to always have a system that's mobile that I can use it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
never know when I'll be in a
No.
situation where I need to. So I was thinking that maybe I would kind of maybe source things that I could get locally and build my own system to portably fill my skid if I ever get, because there's situations where, it'd be
Yeah.
nice not to have to go back home to X2 my
You
water.
need more than 50 gallons.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But just something small and compact enough that, you know what I mean, and I
Yeah.
can source the filtration locally, the 4-step filtration, but just on a smaller scale that maybe I won't be using it all the time, you know what I mean, but there will be instances where, you know what I mean, like, maybe I can. What do you think about that?
I like that. Even like
I don't even necessarily know if I would like make it like part of the actual skid. I would probably just make it something standalone that I could maybe slide underneath the toolbox and, you know what I mean, have a hose run to it and a connection so where I could just hook it if I want to fill up off the neighbor or off my customer's water. I could just connect it and boom, be done. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Dude, you know what I would do if I were you?
What's that, bud?
Very simple, very compact, not expensive.
Uh-huh.
Get yourself a stainless housing
Uh-huh.
or whatever housing you use. I would go with the stainless.
Uh-huh.
In and out RO.
Mm.
Okay, it's the same size
Mhm.
as your existing deionized filter.
Mhm.
Same size, 4 foot, 40 inch.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Dude, slide it under the toolbox, put the fittings in it, and in and out, and plug it in, and then run your output of your RO. Just let the wastewater run into the truck. Run the output of the RO to the input of your skid. You're accomplishing the same thing,
Uh-huh.
and it'll take a footprint up this long and this round under your toolbox. Mount it in your toolbox. You can mount it in your toolbox, bring the plumbing to the outside, literally plug your toolbox in to a hose bib while you're working, and you're going to get probably, if you get a high flow membrane, you probably get close to a gallon a minute out of it. So in an hour it's full. Obviously, if you're using it, you're going to balance back and forth.
Yeah.
That's your best bet. You don't need to go all those fucking steps every time. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
Maybe a carbon filter. Sediment filters catching fucking dirt.
You know what I'm saying?
You can put a small carbon,
Right.
put the RO membrane, and fucking hook it to your input,
Uh-huh.
and done. Dude, I had one of my buddies show up at one of my jobs. I was on that tremendous Mercedes deal. I knew I wasn't going to have enough water, and I didn't want to come back. I'm like, hey, you got your DI tank? And he's like, yeah. I go, you got 2 hoses? Yeah. I go, plug one into the wall, plug it into your DI, put it to the input of my skid.
Mhm.
Okay. So it went through his DI, went through my DI, into my tank. In 20 minutes, the fucking tank was full while I was using it.
What was the water
You know what I
like?
mean? You don't need nothing. Huh?
What was the
It
water?
was zero. It was zero because I pushed it through 2 membrane, two DIs.
Okay.
You don't even need it, dude.
A lot of places I go are on like wells and shit.
Yeah,
Cisterns,
that process
cisterns.
well
The water's hard. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I was thinking. Maybe I'd have to maybe put something besides just an RO. You know what I mean? I thought I maybe have to.
The problem is once you put the RO, you need high pressure, or you're not going to produce pure water. Okay. Once you start with, like this guy I was talking to today, he's like, well, I got a pump, and I'm like, okay, what kind of pump? And he's like, well, it's this, and I go, is that 110 or is it 12 volts? And he goes, you have to plug it in. I go, I don't know about you because I don't do a lot of houses, but when I do glass restoration, 80% of the houses don't have working outlets on the patios because the GFI tripped 2 years ago, and nobody's ever done anything about it. So I have to run an extension cord into someone's house. My point is, you don't want to have to rely on 110 power.
Right.
It's just another, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that 12-volt system. I mean, with the, being able, charging. I really wanted to put a solar panel on it.
That would be kind of dope.
to trickle
to be
charge
honest
it in
with
the summertime. But Mark has not talked me out of it, but he's like, made some valid points on why it's probably wouldn't be the most efficient thing to do. But
you. It depends where you
You
live.
really got to know. Really got to know, dude. I told you. You really got to know. Like I have solar panels on my roof,
Uh-huh.
and they're 4 foot by 3 foot, and they make 360 watts. I don't know. I think one of those giant panels would probably charge the shit out of that battery. But then you need an inverter. You
Uh-huh.
don't want to overcharge the battery.
Right.
The power has to go somewhere. If you're producing power, it has to go into what it's driving, or it's got to go into a battery. And then once everything is full, you need to get rid of the power. You cannot just. Power has to go somewhere. You understand
Can't
what I'm saying?
overload it. Yeah.
I don't think that the solar panel. I think it's a cool idea.
Mhm.
Okay, but I've had mine plugged into a pigtail.
Mhm.
I got rid of the cigarette lighter plug because they don't last out in the weather.
right,
I have a sealed rubber male-female plug right under my cigarette lighter that I mounted in the bed of my truck, wired to the battery on a 30 amp fuse, and I literally leave it in there. I check my voltage. It's right with the truck, 13.1, 13.5. Okay. Once you go below 12 volts on any of those pumps, you're going to start having relay issues because it produces so much resistance, it'll burn up the relays, and you're a glutton for punishment. So rather than go home and plug it in every night, I charge it every day while I'm driving down the road.
right,
End of story. I've never had an issue yet.
right.
I've never run out of battery.
Yeah, mine. I've not. I just, I go. I'd say a couple of days. At sometimes, you know what I mean?
You've got a better battery than me and Seth.
Yeah.
Your battery is better than Seth or I. Your battery costs, it's the same size and costs twice as much as the one that Seth and I
That fucking
have,
battery's
and that's
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I put
Dude,
a trickle
and it's got
charger.
twice the amount of plate.
I put a trickle charger, a maintenance charge on it in the wintertime. So, like it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
keep
that's
it-
good.
yeah,
To
you
take care of it. That motherfucker.
Batteries have to have activity, yeah.
That motherfucker works good, man. I love that thing.
I
Love
just
that thing. Yeah, that skid's like that fucking man. That's like the best thing ever in the whole entire universe, dude. That's like the best
Dude,
thing.
I love it.
It's like the best thing, dude. It's the best
I
thing.
did.
Best thing
Bill-
I've ever had in like window cleaning. That's the best thing I've ever had. And it's not. It don't even look like much. It's not even much to it. It's just like some fucking
It's a
hillbilly
great
dude
idea.
from fucking Florida welded this shit up. Be like, hey, check this out, and it fucking is just like the best fucking thing, dude. It's
Dude,
the
it
best
changed-
thing.
It changed my mind about Windows.
Yeah.
No, it made me not hate certain jobs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it, like it's made me like. So I got a 5x7 trailer just sitting here. Like I gutted a couple other trailers, and it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a 275-gallon water tank tote on it. I've got 2 marine batteries, 2 pumps hooked up because I get jobs sometimes that are 55 plus communities, and I got to do 150 houses in a row.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, this sucks, man. Like when I have the 50-gallon tank, but like now I'm like, I can show up with my tank that's 275, and we just blast through shit. You know what I mean? It's like it's made the
Yeah,
wheels
get
start
it done.
spinning. And it's you get to a point where you're like, all right, like how can I make it? Not because it sucks when you have to stop and I'm like, I gotta fill, then you sit there for 30 minutes and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'll just go home.
Seth, could you imagine plugging in a portable unit 275 times? You know what I'm saying?
And
Moving it to
I used to do it all by hand, and I'd be there for fucking
God.
And now it took one time of doing it with the pole, and they're like, "Well, you're just kind of spraying water on it." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I know that's what you think. Like, give it 2 hours. If it looks bad, I'll come back." And they're all like, "Oh, it's so much better." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not trying to waste my time here, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But,
don't
yeah,
get that.
yeah,
I just don't get that. I see a lot of dudes, like the whole, like, the water fed pole don't work and it looks like shit. And I don't understand that mentality at all.
It's proper. When you're doing a big complex like that, and you have 150.
I totally,
different opinions
hey,
about
listen,
everything?
but I totally expect those guys to remove stains off concrete with a garden hose and a scrub brush. That's what I'm expecting from you now.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't use a pressure washer, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Get yourself some chemicals, a scrub brush, and a little elbow grease. I don't want to hear no bullshit. Because it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
like
it's like-
saying a carpenter's not a carpenter because he uses a nail gun and not a fucking hammer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like it's a tool.
Well, it's like if you're a lawn service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mow someone's front lawn with a weed eater, or do you use a zero turn? You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Like in my neighborhood, there's guys that do old ladies' fucking lawns here with those zero turns, and their yards look like dog shit. They're going 100 miles an hour. They're fucking leaving fucking tire marks everywhere. I mean, the lawns. I mean, you've seen the lawns in my neighborhood, Mark. Get out the fucking push mower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Make it look good, you
That's always
fucking
gonna do a better
dirtbag.
job.
Yeah,
No.
you fucking
No,
dirtbags.
because people don't understand. I mean, I have a zero turn because I have a big yard.
Fuck
but
yeah.
if I use the push mower, the weight of the tires lays the grass down.
Right.
It doesn't get cut
Right.
evenly, and then the grass stands back
Yeah.
up because you got a tire this wide.
Right,
You know.
right.
You know, but
Yeah.
you got to do what makes you money. If water-fed works for you and you can make a shit ton of money, by all means, you know, never say it doesn't work.
No need to
Oh,
plug
man.
it
But
in,
guys
though.
that will
Use a
fucking bring a
generator.
ladder out to clean a trans amount of.
Yeah.
You've seen the old school guys.
KD,
that
man,
bring
you
a
could-
ladder out.
Oh, the way Mark is saying that is, yeah, Mark's using the charging system on his truck that's already there. He's just tying into it. You don't need
That's
a
what I do.
generator at
Yeah.
all. Yeah, that's the same thing Seth did. He just using
Yeah.
the truck already charges a battery. It's not going to hurt it to charge another battery because it's never going to be low enough to draw that
Dude.
kind of power.
It's like plugging into your cigarette lighter a laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. All you're gonna do is balance the batteries.
Huh.
So what happens is,
You're never going to drain one. You're going to just find the
Yeah.
middle.
yes, even if it's not running. Now my truck has 2 batteries because it's a diesel, and it's only hooked to 1 battery.
Uh-huh.
So I would have to go for 40 hours before it would kill the skid battery and the truck battery. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? But most alternators in a truck or car nowadays, with all the electronics, put out 130, 140 amps. You could charge that battery at 6 amps.
Yeah.
It's going to take overnight, but at 130 amps, you're charged in 10 minutes.
Right.
It's ready to go.
Listen, guys, don't ever doubt the mind of Leonard Skinner's own fucking Mark Tanner, dude.
I hear
Yeah,
it.
baby. Don't ever fucking doubt the mind. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful mind right there.
Right.
Oh, Mark, that reminds me. I need to get a.
Oh, yeah,
Did you
okay.
say 50 amp switch or a 30 amp switch that I need now for mine?
I would go
Hey,
with-
if
I would
anyone's
go with-
looking for a
Yeah.
$400 Del Van pump, I'll sell it to you for half price. I don't want to fucking do all that,
Yeah.
man. I still haven't put. I still have that. It's still in the box it came in. I'm
You know-
still
you know
using.
what the problems
I'm
are?
getting.
Because-
Hey, I'm getting. Yeah, but I'm getting those fucking Quality Farm and Fleet fucking those pumps. I get them. It's for free. I got a warranty. I paid an extra $25 and I take it in. When the motherfucker dies, they give me another one. I don't even have to pay nothing for it.
Yeah.
And then they're
No
like, "Do you
question
want to?
that.
Do you want to extend the warranty onto this one?" I'm like, "Yes." So every time I go in there, it resets itself. I'm like, "You guys are fucking retards." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just
Look,
unscrew it,
look,
plug it back
the one
in.
thing-
Unscrew it, plug it back in.
The one thing I've learned,
Uh-huh.
the one thing I've learned with this is that I set it up to run through 200 to 300 foot of hose plus your eighth inch
Uh-huh.
far the fuck away
Uh-huh.
and get good flow. So I say, let's get a lot of pressure
Uh-huh.
and a lot of GPM
Uh-huh.
because at the end it's not going to be close to that.
Right.
The problem is that the one thing I've learned, and I've spent $400 and $500 on a pump.
Uh-huh.
Once you get up over 25 amps,
Uh-huh.
everything takes its toll. The wiring,
Yeah.
the relays,
Right.
the battery,
Right.
and you're really not accomplishing that much more because it's like blowing into a hose. It starts to hurt after a while. Well, that's what happens to those pumps.
Uh-huh.
It's just like you said, let the pressure off the pump when you turn it off.
Uh-huh.
That's 100% correct because it's trying to start with a load versus start without a load. You understand?
Dude,
I mean, I'd like to find a happy medium.
Right.
I'd like to tell you on that. I started doing it last year. I run 2 poles off that system in my truck all the time. All the time.
Really? I've never done that.
I
It works,
crush
yeah.
water, but I also crush
Yeah.
jobs running 2 poles off.
Also crush jobs.
Yeah.
What? Big dick
Dude,
bandits.
running 2 poles off one system like that, dude, it's so fast. So much faster.
Yeah. I got this cool ass
one
water
guy's
fed
doing high,
pole
one guy's
attachment.
doing low.
I need a fucking rinse bar for. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I need Mark to make me one. Like, Mark, make us a rinse bar. You're the only one of us that can do it.
I'll tell you what. Look, I'm going to tell you something. there were some spy.
We'll call it.
We'll
call it the. Hey, listen. We'll call it the. We'll call it the Tanner Golden Shower, bro. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. We gotta do it, man. You make them make them all like anodized gold or paint them gold. That shit would be dope. The golden. Mark Tanner's Golden Shower. Come on, dude.
Mark Squirter.
Mark Tanner will make you squirt with the all new Golden Shower. Come on, bro.
I think that I saw a rinse bar 2 weekends ago that blew my mind. The design of it, the materials it was made out of, and Alex ran into it too. And Alex is like, "Uh-oh," and I go, "That's the real deal, there, dude."
Really?
I'm not going to share it because it's not a WCR thing right now, but it's fucking. I'll tell you later. It's fucking badass. It's got the rubber on the ends.
Nice.
It's beautiful aluminum. You just look at that bitch and you go, "That's jewelry right there." For my brush.
No
That's
shit. Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be around shortly. Oh yeah.
That's good, man. Good, man.
Yeah, it's not a piece of hose. It's not a hose with a bunch of holes in it. It's not a plastic bar where you have to glue fucking nipples on it. It's fucking out of the box. Now I didn't see it work, but when you put it in your hand, you're like, "This is fucking next level."
Well, that's usually when you can tell. That's usually when you can tell. When you pick it up and you hold it, you're like, "Oh, okay, all right, this is legit."
I always wondered with the stainless steels why, like, I mean, it's probably stupid to think of, but like you could put like a rubber sleeve over the stainless steel. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean the aluminum, the aluminum Tucker rinse bars? That was
got like a rubber sleeve.
That was that dude's biggest folly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because it's nice to make it out of that. It's high quality. It just seems like you're asking.
Yeah, it did.
The issue becomes this. It's not a matter of if it can be done. It's a matter of, is there enough market to spend the money to machine stainless, which is already expensive, okay, for a very small industry. That's the issue. If you're going to spend $50,000 to have something prototyped, machined into someone's hands, you've got to sell a hell of a lot of them to break even. That's the fact.
Right.
That's why guys are drilling holes in a piece of hose, trying the 3D thing, printing plastic stuff, or even plastic molds are tremendously expensive to make. So the ROI on something like that is very hard to justify.
I'm gonna tell you fellers right now that are talking about a lot of, like, you know, Katie just said, a lot of scratch windows from that bar. That's all I use is the aluminum one, and I haven't scratched any windows. I mean, I've left some marks on some windows, but it ain't nothing a little, you know, polish won't take off. You know? I mean, you're not really scratching
really
it. Yeah, it's not. I tried to explain to somebody that it wasn't really a scratch, and they're like, "Yes, the fuck it is." I'm like, "All right, cool, then." You know, all right.
No, it's not.
It's your. Isn't the glass harder than the aluminum rinse bar? Isn't that what you said?
By 1,000 times. By 1,000 times. What happens is when you rub aluminum on glass, you get a deposit on the glass. That will feel like a scratch. But TJ, with what you have that you got from me, you can take it off faster than you can.
Yes.
Goodbye.
It
was that easy? Yeah.
It's just a scuff. It's not a scratch. It's a scuff.
But the problem is that the average person doesn't know that. So he goes to an estate home and he gets on an angle where he doesn't want to shorten the pole, and he brings it all the way to the ground. Next thing you know, there's a big line, and then the first thing he's doing is he's going to walk up and rub it with his finger. Then he's going to hope the homeowner doesn't know. Then he's going to panic. It's very simple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it happens. And it was a bad design. It should have been capped with rubber on the ends. Okay. You can do whatever.
But the door stopper, the end of the door stopper on there fucking works perfect, dude. It works perfect, dude.
Yeah. Well, so I'd rather have that with the door stopper on it than the plastic thing now that snaps on command.
Yeah. On command.
Dude, I have to be the luckiest person ever. I have the over-the-top Tucker rinse bar.
Yeah.
I brush now for almost it's 2 seasons. And it's
I've broke every single fucking one I've ever bought is busted.
Yeah.
Even the new one, even the fucking new ones with the fucking flanges down the side, I broke fucking 3 of those.
I had the one with the flange on the side. My brush cocked to the side and the hose was wrapped around the gooseneck and the hose just, the brush went, and I heard a pop, and then I see water going everywhere, and I'm like,
Same thing,
"You're
dude.
gone.
Yeah,
You're
all
gone."
it did, I leaned it. You know, it might have been a little, like you said. I kind of wrap it a couple times around the pole. That's just because I'm not Mario. I don't shove my hose up my fucking pole like a total fucking goofball.
No,
But
That's for girls.
yeah, that's for girls.
Yep.
But anyways, I wrap it around a couple of times, keep it out of the bushes, and I fucking leaned it up against the house, and I started, you know, to go adjust my hose so I could keep moving, and a gust of wind came, blew it, and it just went, whoosh, just moved over, and the angle of the brush just changed, and it fucking snapped it. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man.
the one I broke was about 2 jobs old, and I was so pissed off that I didn't even put it in the recycle bin where it could show up as another rinse bar somewhere else. I put that bitch in the garbage. Goodbye.
Right.
You're out. And I won't buy another one. I will not buy another one.
I'm not planning on buying another one after this. If it breaks, I'm like, all right, 2 years is pretty good on it. Either I got lucky and it was made well, or I've just been
Once
fortunate.
this brush, I mean, I use a brush like 90% of the time. I'm water fed pole, and I've got a brush that I use. I also use the Battle Cat quite often, but I pick my, you know, I use the Battle Cat not on everything, but just certain stuff. You know what I mean? Because it just makes more sense to. But if I'm like doing double hungs or, you know, anything with a recessed frame, I'm using a brush because I'm knocking the frames down first and then rinsing everything, and then, you know what I mean? That's just how I do it. But I use 4 pencil jets too. I prefer it. But I have so much footage from last year. I can't use none of it because that's the reason why, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the reason why I'm not doing videos, because a lot of the shit I use on a daily basis, you can't fucking see me use. So you're just getting hand tool videos where you've seen me do 1,000 times, and I'm just like, how many more of these can I fucking make? You know what I mean? Because a lot of the shit I'm using, I can't put in a fucking video. You know what I mean? So
The Battle Cat is nice, man.
Oh,
like that
yeah.
a lot. Plate glass windows, man. That's
what I use it. I use it on casements, plate glass. It's fucking beautiful, man. That thing is titties and beer, baby. Titties and beer.
I got one of these, like blue, like one of the blue aggressive pads for it. Like I use walnut pads and stuff like that, but like if it's bad, I'll use one of those like blue pads on there, man. Like it just, you can see it just cooking the dirt off.
I'm not a MoFlo fan, man. I had a couple of those and just not a fan of any kind of fucking spray, misty, fucking always makes the window look like dog shit.
Water.
Yeah. Misty, spray, jetty type shit, like fanny shit, just don't clean. It just does not, in my opinion, just don't leave shit looking good. Shit just don't look good.
If you live in a lot of areas, that shit does not work for you. If you have salt, if you have like the bug problems that you have, I guess if you're like Arizona, Nevada, something like that, like maybe that works for you, but I have no idea how it works like anywhere on the coast or anywhere like near a lake. I have no idea.
Jason Lehman I had so many aluminum rinse bars that I sent Jason all of them except for the one I use. I'm keeping this one, but you can have all the rest. Because I don't use, I used to have them giant fucking Tucker fucking brushes, and I don't use them anymore. They're the big giant brushes. It's too much on the end of a pole.
Like 18 inches.
Yeah, the Battle Cat fucking ruins, it decimates all. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem is when you get to a brush like that,
it's really hard to put a good.
It's fucking break.
The gooseneck. The gooseneck goes to shit, and not only that, but it's really hard to get a good scrub on the glass. I feel when you got a giant broom.
It's too much of a diverse.
You're losing something in the transfer of weight at height with that size of brush. You're not getting a good scrub on the glass. I'd rather use something 16 inches flat, like the Battle Cat, for instance. Just something I could, get some oomph on there. You know what I mean? Not a man. Shit.
Goddamn, boy.
Goddamn.
I mean, I'm surprised Lehman hasn't broken an aluminum rinse bar yet. The way that motherfucker cleans glass. That dude is heavy. Heavy-handed.
He uses his equipment, man. Yeah.
He definitely gets his money out of it. I'll tell him that much.
Yeah.
Definitely gets his money out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, here, see the pole just smash.
Bang, bang, bang!
It's like when, did you guys ever watch Always Sunny?
It's like, yeah,
You ever
it's
watch
like,
that?
no, it's
Frank Reynolds describes lifting weights. He's like, you want to jerk your knees and slam your shoulders up and push out. And then your back pops out of place. And like, I feel like that's window cleaning for Lehman.
Jason Lehman water-fed poles like Philip Alexander uses a ledger. Kadoosh, kadoosh!
Oh God! I saw one of his videos where he was like pump spraying inside of a dealership, and I was like, "What in the fuck is this guy up to?" Did you see that one?
What's that new
pump
thing?
sprays it, and then he agitates it with a mop, and I'm like, he's like, you need to use a pump spray. I'm like, all you did was add a step. You added a step.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, he adds a step, and then he smokes the top with the mop. He just is smashing it everywhere. And I'm like,
what's that? What's
What are
that
you
deal
doing?
that windowcleaner.com sells now? It's not a. It looks like a battle cat, but it's not a battle cat. What's that? A multi? What is
The zero scrubber.
the zero scrubber? Yeah, that's
Yep.
real nice too. That's real
It is
nice.
badass.
That's real
That thing's
nice
gonna
too.
progress.
I haven't used that one yet.
I have a strange feeling it's gonna progress to something a little bit better.
Yeah,
But it's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't use any of those rinse bars anymore either, as I'm on a different brush system. Much better. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool, dude. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah.
I seen Phil cleaning an entranceway over some gumball machines with the pump sprayer,
Oh, yeah.
and I think it
Zero
looked like it was
contact,
like a Dollar General or something. And I think if you watch closely towards the end of the video, people thought there were gunshots going off, and they were leaving the store very quickly.
That's funny as shit. Yeah.
We need an 18-inch ledge to reach over that 4-inch ledge.
Right. I'm on a different brush system too. I've actually got something that me and Mark may be the only two people in the world that have one that I wish more would have been done with or more gets done with.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping.
You know what I'm talking about,
something
right?
more would come of it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That we got the maroon pads with that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Right. The cobbled together deal? Yeah, okay. I wish something would have been I hope something gets done with that. Because I feel like that right there is, out of all the things I've seen, that's the simplest explanation for it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like the issues that a lot of these deals are trying to, I think that is the simplest answer for all of that. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
It's just simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, that's Richie though. Super simple. The most simplest answer is the best answer.
It really is.
And Mark, you're that way too. You're that way too. You're more of a simple dude
it's
too.
It's like standing next to an elephant and not realizing the elephant is there.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't I fucking think?
Yeah, fuck. You know what I mean? When something will I'm sure eventually that will progress and it will be available to people. But when people see it, they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck."
Dude, I can't wait because I know it's coming in my mind at some point. I know COVID has fucked up a lot of stuff for Richie and stuff like that, but like, if he ever makes a Resi belt, I'm all over it, dude. I'm all over it. I'm tired of using carpenter belts. Like, I mean, it works, but it's like, I wish I had this.
Oh,
and
you're
that.
talking about a pouch.
Yeah, like a Resi belt, like made like Resi belt. You know what I mean? Like an add-on, like a la carte, like, hey, you want this, you want that, you need this thing. I mean, because I gotta say, like, when you're doing storefronts and commercial work, like, it's fine. Like, when you go in someone's house and, like, you're like, fuck, I forgot this thing. I don't have this. I don't have this on me. It sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I hate going in out. But I also don't want to be that guy with 75 fucking rags, like, you know, suspender belt with like 18 different screwdrivers, looking like a fucking asshole, like in someone's house. Like, how you doing? They're like, aren't you cleaning windows? What are you doing? What are you up to?
Yeah, I seen a fish guy once that had so many rags on his belt, it looked like he was wearing a dress. And I'm like, I don't use that many rags in a week.
Yeah.
You know, and you have them all out there in
I
one
use
trip.
probably maybe four towels a day in like an 8-hour day, because I use the one Squeegee. Once that first Squeegee Life towel is used as a mop towel, that's my mop towel the whole day, and then I have usually one rag that I fucking detail with, one rag. I mean that you can't beat the Squeegee Life towels. They're not available at squeegeelife.com, but you can get them at windowcleaner.com.
No, I was gonna say, man, I'm such like just being prone to doing residential work and also being a towel baby.
Right.
I definitely cut my towel use in half, but I'm like, the second I have to look for a corner of a towel, I'm like, absolutely not. New towel. I don't need detail. I'm like, I just want a detail.
Right.
I just want it to be dry, and then I'm like, I can't. I'll keep a wet towel for sills.
You know, and all you people watching, I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but Mark and Seth and I put some money into SqueegeeLife.com, and there's actually a forum there for you guys to converse freely that no one uses.
Yeah,
that is true.
Pretty sad.
And you could ask serious questions I'd be willing to answer.
Yeah.
We should have we didn't do what we were we didn't like the forum thing. We should have fucking stuck at. We did not keep after it like we should have.
Exactly. After like a month, it was forgotten. I forgot about it. I honestly forgot about it. And then one day I said, I'm going to kick this up. I put some pictures in, trying to kick up some, just some conversation. And by then the flame had went out. It was just an ember of a fucking thing.
Right.
But it's still there.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, yeah.
Try to reply.
We get email notifications when people post in it. You know what I mean? I just don't get any. I don't get any. Yeah, nobody. Yeah. No, there's no interaction on there. But you know, when the springs and when the I can't. I'm actually actually looking forward to this spring because I'm gonna start doing some different stuff with the channel. There's no point in me starting it now because all I do is a couple restaurants in the morning and the occasional house here and there. There's really nothing to film or talk about.
Isn't that kind of the best though in the winter now that you don't have to go out and do like 800 restaurants in a week?
Well, the restaurant load never changes. The only thing that changes is the 800 houses that go with the fucking.
True though, but like with all the McDonald's and stuff, dude.
I don't do the McDonald's anymore. I'm glad I don't. Yeah. I'm glad I don't. I still do all the Wendy's and the Subways and Chick-fil-A, Applebee's. I still do all the normal. The only thing I dropped, I just wasn't dropping my price. I didn't. To be quite honest with you, I priced it to get it. Because I was at a spot when I picked them up that I was like, man, this would be really good for my business if I pick these up. You know what I mean? But it was a fucking nightmare, man. That was I hated. That was the biggest suck of my entire life. That's the
one where you back the truck in, and then you check Facebook, and then you check Boxer.
Yeah, bro. Hey, Mark. I'm talking to Mark on the phone for 20 minutes before I even fucking get out of the truck. Yeah, just like, dude, I don't want to do this.
Could have been done by now.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the worst. Like I gotta say, I got really comfy just doing residential because I don't I have a couple restaurants I do where I can start them at like 6:30 or 7, but like most of my jobs now don't start till 8. Like nobody wants you in your house before 8, and I'm like,
you know what?
I'm real comfortable with that now.
Right. Well, Jason, I don't know. I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Jason, the only deal with just like putting it there, I don't, that's not really fair to a lot of people, you know what I mean, to make them try to figure that all out. So, I mean, the YouTube thing, really, it's not really anything you guys have done, you know what I mean? We just didn't get a lot of people initially sign up for the forum, you know what I mean? That's the first thing. And the second thing, it's on us, the three of us, me, Mark, and Seth. It's on all three of us. We just we weren't active on there like we should have been. You know what I mean?
We need to be, and we should talk about it because I think like maybe like the 10 minutes or 10 minutes before we go on could go on there as like a little.
That's
what we've been up to.
Well, I would like to. I would like to, record that 10-15 minutes before the show and put it on Patreon. That's what I would like to do. Mark is super busy, and the last since we've been back, Mark's kind of been all over the place. You know what I mean? And you had a thing you had to do, down in Florida. You know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult to do that right now. But once we're kind of back into our normal swing of things, I figure we just record that first 10 minutes and. We might even start doing that next week if Mark is back in town. Are you back in town next week or no, Mark?
Yeah. I leave here Friday.
Oh, okay.
I'm going back to my regular schedule.
Okay.
And I'm not have anything planned, but I wanted to finish up one more thing.
Okay.
The next level, TJ, because I was there Monday. Okay. I have a twice a month bicycle store. And for whatever reason, I just don't like the job. It's an easy job. It's 10 windows and 2 doors. I just don't like it. I don't know why. But the next level, which you will experience, especially after I put this in your head, is
Oh, no.
it starts with I'm going to check my phone to see if anyone called. I'm going to check my phone to see if any updates on Facebook. I'm going to check my phone to see if Frank Ray posted a picture that Mark just fucked up.
Right.
Okay. And then the next level is checking multiple platforms.
Yeah.
The next level, which I did, was I sat in my truck, checked everything, and then said to myself, after 10 minutes, which I could have finished the job within a few more minutes, I wonder if they saw me because I'm fucking thinking I'm going to drive out of here.
I hope this guy didn't see me. Hey, I hope they didn't see me. I'm going to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Having anything that is like guaranteed has to be done is like the biggest dread.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like, dude, if I know I have a party that I have to go to on a Friday or Saturday now, by Thursday I start dreading it. And I imagine if I did commercial work, that's what would happen.
So, oh my god,
shit on Friday. Fuck.
I spend more time procrastinating on the first job every morning than I do actually doing the first job in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Oh,
I roll up to certain things and I'm like, I fucking. Because some of the stuff now I don't look at anymore. So I used to look at everything and like I'll have a brief description. And it was like 75 6/6s, 12, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm by myself all day." Like I'm looking at this piece of paper, like this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. I get there, and I'm like, "Oh, it does suck. This job." And like I know that people are looking at me from inside, and I'm sitting on my truck on my phone, just like I don't want to go in. Like I don't even want to start there.
I got this meeting going on between me and my phone.
Yeah,
I've actually spent most of the week down at working with my cousin. My other cousin, Brian, has got he's a contractor, a building contractor now, and I've been helping him work on this boathouse. White knuckling it. Try not to fall into fucking 40-degree fucking water. That's like fucking 10 feet deep. Yeah, did you see my ocean violations video? Yeah. Oh man, dude, we got a like, I don't know, like a maybe 20 foot, maybe, ceiling we've got to get up to the top to secure these fucking beams. And we've already ripped out all the rotten floors, so we got like our new fucking rim joists on, and then like 3 or 4 2x12 screwed to it to keep it from flipping over, and then a fucking ladder on it leaning on a beam over the water. It's fucking the most sketchiest shit ever. My cousin, what I wanted to do is I brought in my window cleaning ladder, my stack ladder. I'm like, this would be so much easier to move around. You know what I mean? And we won't have to, it's light as fuck. He wouldn't get on it. He said it wasn't safe. He was like, that's not fucking safe. I was like, what? Well, how is it not safe?
Yeah.
He's like, well, it gets narrow at the top. I was like, dude, this is perfect for this application, dude. I mean, this is what it's made for.
You're leaning on a beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you've never been on a stack ladder, the first time you get on it, though, you're like, but is it good?
Yeah, but is this okay?
You know, but then it really does. It's a great ladder.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, my dad had a wooden set of stacks.
Oh, yeah.
Which we didn't use after a long time. And the aluminum ones came out. And that's all I've ever used. Rarely have I used an extension ladder. Okay, you both have 100 times the experience with an extension ladder than I do. But I probably have 50 times the experience with
a stack.
Stacks.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. One thing I will not climb is a fucking little giant ladder.
No.
And not because they're not strong. I know they're stout because they weigh 843 fucking pounds.
Right.
But I watched one of my guys. He brought one out because we had to get into an area and he needed to go like on an angle, and I'm footing this thing, and he's like, you just gotta freaking realize it's a good ladder. And I watched him pinch his fucking hand in that thing. That
yeah.
You know those pinches you get that are blood blisters that hurt like a mother?
Yeah, you get them once a year on those.
A little bit of white skin where the fucking skin just is gone.
Yeah.
You don't know where it fell in.
Right.
No.
Mark said no.
I have a little giant in my truck right now. I use it for like working on stairs, like a lot of applications.
I use a pole because I'm not a fuck of a J.
Well, dude, if you're doing a construction,
Pull,
like
handy
I'm
sleeve.
doing,
Nope,
I
nope.
have to get
Nah,
up and take the
nope.
stickers
Fuck
off.
that.
Look,
Scraper.
dude,
Scraper.
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 I'll put it up. I'll put it up on Squeegee Life so everybody can enjoy it,
Yeah.
and everybody's probably already seen it. But there is nothing funnier ever than that QVC
Yeah,
video
yeah.
where the guy has glass
Yeah.
and he goes, now
like
it's locked.
Now it's
glass
locked.
and glasses in. It's
No.
so good, dude.
No, what?
Dude, the part that makes me laugh so hard is the girl laugh
Yeah.
when he eats
No.
shit.
The funniest video on the fucking internet is that news lady stomping those grapes have fallen.
He sounds like a French
Dude,
bulldog
dude.
that has like a respiratory
Dude,
problem.
yeah, dude, I laugh so hard when I see that I almost pass out. It's fucking so funny, man. I feel bad for the lady, but the noise she makes is something else, man. Something
That,
else.
and when the guy goes, I still love you, he's like, like cry one is one of my favorites. All times.
That's
I
hilarious.
think it was like intervention. Something.
Right. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man, but I've actually enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Working down there, it's kind of fun. I mean, I don't miss that kind of work because I could tell you right now, I've used muscles down there that I didn't know I wasn't using. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a different.
Things change as you get older, and then you.
It's a different.
Yeah,
it's a
get in your
different
groove
kind
doing
of.
what you do.
It's a different kind of work. You know what I mean? You're doing different,
Yeah.
different movements.
sucks.
Yeah, different movements.
Last winter, my buddy rebuilt his house. He's a contractor, and he put in like 12 new Bigfoots.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to put in 8 LVLs in, and it was just me and him. And I was like, day 3, I was like, I think I'm going to fucking die. My shoulder's all smushed, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's sledgehammering shit
I
in.
gotta
the house
put
is
one
shaking.
in.
I'm like,
I'm finally going to do my kitchen this spring. I've made up everything's. I'm doing it this time. I don't have any graduation parties, no birthday, nothing's going on. I'm doing it. The fucking
Nice.
the kitchen is happening, and I'm gonna have to. I have
Nice.
to order me an LVL because I'm gonna fucking rip that all out and span that whole fucking. I'm gonna make. The only thing is, I'm gonna have to go get myself some new windows for that back porch, man. The guy that installed them did a terrible job. We actually have a king size blanket over that opening right now. That's how bad the windows have gotten. Like I can't even fucking.
Really?
They are the vinyl windows. Those people that came and sold my grandparents those windows should be fucking ashamed of themselves, man. They took advantage of my grandparents. I was already pissed off when I got there. Well, first of all, that they didn't ask me to do it. She's like, you're too busy. You ain't got, I don't want you working too much. You know what I mean? And, but they seen them coming. The way they were installed, it was just like, you could barely lock them.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Yeah, you
That's
could
just
barely,
wrong.
now the vinyl sag, it's fucking awful. So I'm gonna have to replace the windows, and I'm probably gonna put a pellet burner back there. I think a small one, not a big one, but a small one. Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna happen. I'm gonna make it to where both ends open up. So there'll be a patio out to the pool, and then of course the patio that's already there. You know what I mean? And it'll just open it French doors on either end. But yeah, that's definitely. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's different when it's your house. It's a little funner. But the only thing that sucks is I have to do the floor in the entire house has to be done. Because Jennifer is not having the tile floor in the kitchen and, the wood floor. She's done with that. All the floors are going to be one material for Jennifer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, that tile that my grandma picked out for the kitchen, Jennifer says it's always looks dirty no matter what she does to it. She's like, no matter what I do, it always looks dirty. I was like, well, it's fucking limestone. That's the way it's supposed to look. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
She does not like that at all. So the tiles got to come up, the floors got to come up. Then I got to rip out a wall, put the wall back up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rip everything fucking down to the fucking studs and just redo it. Fuck it. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well fucking do it, right? If you're gonna fuck
There's no real point.
if you're gonna walk on ice, you might as well fucking dance. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Fuck it. You know what I mean? What else can I do? You know what I mean?
No, I mean honestly, you're better off too because you're probably going to find some stuff you don't like anyways.
Yeah,
So you
well,
might take it from the studs.
the plumbing, I really need the plumbing is in bad shape. You know, that's like fucking 60, 70 years of bacon grease. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's country.
Yeah.
There's a lot of country living that went on in this house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, my grandparents lived here for a long time. The kitchen was out of date when I was in high school. You know what I mean? And they kind of just band-aided it. And now it's just to the point now. It's just like something's got to be done. The cabinets are falling apart.
Yeah, I got similar stuff going on.
Yeah,
My
I
house,
dread it, but once it's done, it's done. And I mean, I don't plan on going nowhere. I mean, when I'm done working, I'm just gonna buy a motorhome and drive around. You know what I mean? And when I'm done driving around, I'll come back here when it's warm and fucking hang out here while it's warm. And then as soon as the first snowflake I see, I'm getting in my fucking motorhome and I'm leaving this place.
Pack it up.
Yes.
Go to Scottsdale, my dude.
Yes, I don't know where I'm gonna be, but it's gonna be somewhere where it's not this, like Sonora. I want to go to where all the UFOs and shits are at. That's where I want to go. I want to go see. I just want to go somewhere.
in Alaska. Yeah.
I want to go somewhere where you can walk outside and look up and see the universe the way it's supposed to be seen at night. You know what I mean? No light fucking pollution. Just look up and it's like black. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen if you go down to the National Forest in Ohio, you know, you can really get a good look at what we're supposed to be seeing, but we don't see because of light pollution. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's absolutely beautiful.
I go up to Bangor every once in a while. When you get up that far into Maine, and it's a little town just outside of Bangor, but it's wild how many stars you see.
Yeah,
if you go to my camp at night, and it's not it can't be a full moon. It's you look up. The first glimpse is the most brilliant. It's like holy fucking
right,
because it's so dark out there. There's no lights, and it's right on the Air Force bombing range. So the coolest thing is certain times of the year you go out there and you can hear a helicopter a mile off and you just see this red flashing light and then the F-16s come dropping down and they drop dummy bombs. Holy fuck, it's badass, dude. You just see the shadows of them go by and then you hear whoa, 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 whoa.
Right. Yeah, Jason, these windows are about that old, but they're I think maybe 2-3 years in, you could already tell they were a low quality window. They took my grandma and grandpa. They took them. You know what I mean? There's no question in that. They took them. But you know what can you do about it? What's done is done, right? Just like this dude couldn't even fucking wrap the windows in aluminum like worth a fuck. It's so bad the way he did it. That's my favorite thing to do is to wrap windows. I love wrapping windows with aluminum with the metal brake.
A nice break. Like a nice metal
that's one of my most favorite things to do. I enjoyed that so much. I worked for I installed windows for for this dude for like maybe two seasons. I did it for him. And that was the most fun I've had working. I just enjoy that. I just enjoyed the shit out of it. You know what I mean? He had a nice truck. You just roll up the metal brakes in the back of the truck. You hook the power up. It had a compressor. You just roll out your holes. Had the crown stapler and just staple it so you could cover everything. There was couldn't see no nails in it. It's all, it was all caulked out. It was beautiful, man. I loved doing that shit. Loved it.
I missed.
This guy did such a terrible job.
For 3 seasons in the off season, I had to have a job, and I did slate and copper roofing.
Oh yeah, I bet you that's fun.
And slate, dude, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
My hammer was from like the 1860s, found in some Vermont barn that they like refurbished.
Oh, that's cool.
Because like you ever seen the slate hammer? It has that dude, it's really hard to like put those holes in. You
score it and then fucking chip it off and then fucking
or like making the nail holes too.
You pop a hole in it with the hammer. You got to really know what you're doing.
You're breaking a piece of slate, and it's like $50 every time you break one.
Right.
And you're like, "This is my first day doing this."
I got a customer. I got a customer that actually hired a company out to come in and clean the gutters, and they have a slate roof, and they fucking they fucked this roof all the shit. And they didn't want me on it because I'm a bigger guy. And she's like, well, you're a bigger guy. We didn't want you to have to get up there. And I'm like, okay. I was like, but I know how to walk a slate roof and not break the fucking tiles. Well, this guy went up there and destroyed this fucking roof. Destroyed it. And dude, these motherfuckers talk about this was almost a 6-figure fucking roof job. They had to have it replaced. Almost 6 figures. She's like, well, we're close to $100,000 on replacing this roof. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, slate roofs are no
luckily,
joke,
man. Luckily, the homeowners insurance took care of most of it. She said. She's like, she goes, this is a lot of. I mean, I've put it in videos before. It's one of those. He's a famous architect, but it's actually one of his houses. It's not one of his famous houses, but but it's got a bronze plaque on it that's got that architect's fucking name on it.
Dude, you gotta love it, man. I remember one of the coolest things I got to do was I went to the Boston Armory building. It's not that anymore, but this roof was 110 years old, and like getting up there, we were replacing like I think 30 pieces of slate that day, and you look down a line, maybe 110 yards, and it was dead fucking straight.
Yeah.
Like, dead nuts. Like all the old work that you saw, it's like, Jesus
There's
Christ.
a different level of craftsmanship, like, not to say this, but, like Mark being an older guy. Sorry, Mark. You can see when, like, if you, like, look at your skid, you can see, like, the difference in craftsmanship. You know what I mean? Generationally.
Well,
you know what I mean? Generationally.
Yeah.
You could see that.
Yeah, but dude, when I was in Martha's Vineyard fixing scratch glass, they sent some trim carpenters out, but they had the cut-ups, and I go, if you remove the stops around the edge, I can fix those cut-ups, but I can't fix them if you don't, because they were going to replace them, and they said, we'll pull the stops, do 2 of them, and if we like what we see, we'll send the carpenters back. Dude, they went in there with those little pry bars and broke the stops out of mahogany custom-built frames, okay? And then I did like 20 windows, and then they sent those guys back, and they didn't save anything. They just broke them out, and they came in with those little brad nailers and a fucking chop saw. And I was watching these guys work, and eventually I went over and I said, this kind of work does not happen in South Florida.
No.
Dude,
it's regional as well.
No putty. Yeah. No putty. Yeah. No nothing. They were fucking dead nuts perfect.
Yeah. Regionally, yes. Yeah. Regionally, like, I got a buddy that lived up here and he moved down south and he goes, bro, they build shit right in the dirt. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, he goes, they put wood in the dirt. They don't give a fuck. I'm like, really? Yeah. He's like, yeah, he goes, you don't see, he goes, the difference in construction, he goes, I gotta beat jobs off me with a stick, because once they see my work, they're like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And we never, you know what I mean? It's a different level of craft. And the only reason why it's different is because you guys don't have to worry about the same shit we worry about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so there's some things that we
generational building here, though. You know what I mean? Like, when you go see the Hemingway house down in, Key West, it's built different than they build shit now. You know what I mean? New England, the Midwest, that area just is like, that's old guys doing the same shit for like 300 years.
Right. Yeah. True.
Dude, I'm gonna send you guys. I'm gonna send you a picture, and I'm sure Seth has seen this 100 times. But when I was on Martha's Vineyard, I took a trip around most of the island, and I had to stop, back up, pull over to get a picture of this house. I have it in my phone. I'll put it on the Voxer. You'll be familiar with this, Seth. But when I brought this picture back, I showed someone who was from Boston. They go, oh, they call that a Keebler house. Okay? Yeah. You know what a Keebler house is?
A cobbler house.
Cobbler house. The fucking trim work on
Keebler elf.
The little elf. Yeah, dude, the fucking trim work on this house.
Dude,
it was painted multiple colors. Every layer of trim was a different color, and I was like, that looks like something out of a fucking painting.
You have to remember too, the people that built houses on that island were shipbuilders first.
Right.
Yeah.
They were shipbuilders,
Yeah.
so they built houses like ships. It was,
Yeah.
like all that ornate stuff is like, it's so overbuilt.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
that's why it's been there
yeah.
for 200 years, 300 years.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, Mark, I hope you enjoy the rest of your time at the PWMCA there in Orlando's.
Yeah, give
Well,
Sacco
I know
a hug
this.
from me.
I'm gonna enjoy Sacco.
Awesome.
I'm gonna enjoy Steve-O, getting to know him. Anybody that I meet, absolutely, is what I'm looking forward to. And I'm also looking forward to getting my regular schedule back to doing my own thing.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure you're ready
it
to.
hasn't been that much of a...
I'm sure you're ready to
Dude,
slow down for a minute.
I'm just a homebody.
Yeah.
I like to sleep in my bed.
I know how you. Yeah, you just.
My wife,
Yeah.
my kids.
Right. I know. Yeah. You are definitely that guy. You like to be like maybe 50 feet from your shop. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know what's going on there. Exactly. So.
Well, everybody.
Cool beans.
We still don't have, I mean, unless somebody hits me up and wants to come on the show. In the meantime, I think our next guest is March 9th. Noah Peterson from Window Cleaning History is going to be on the
That's gonna be
podcast.
a good one.
March
That's
March
awesome.
9th. But in between March 9th and now, I don't know. Maybe we'll have somebody else. If I hear from anybody, I'll let you guys know, of course. But we appreciate everybody watching. Thanks, Mark and Seth, for coming back on the show and helping me do this.
Anytime, man. I'm glad I got this to work.
I am too. Yeah.
Dude, sleeping in a hotel room can be tough sometimes.
Yeah.
So having something to do for a little while is kind of nice.
Right.
Yeah. True.
All right,
Yeah,
buddies. See you later, everybody. Thanks, man.
Peace, everyone.
See you guys later. Peace.
You guys be safe.